Hello, we are
Hanna.
Kilian,
In London.
and we're going to present to you our ideal early elementary classroom. To begin with this, let's talk about what an early childhood education kids generally begin with. It is most of the time at a bare minimum for literacy or math skills. They also start to develop their first social connections beyond their families. This is also the reason that kindergarten and the primary grades are for most of them their first introduction to instituted education. What a classroom is and the etiquette in a classroom is established here for the first time. The expected education is regulated by the CCSS. This is the Common Core State Standard, which is equal across all of the states of Ohio and all the other states in the United States. With those standards being equal all across the nation, each student should receive the instruction they need to end up on the same level of education. This amount of guidance varies from student to student and could be less for some and more for others. This goes for many courses, ranging from literacy classes to calculus courses. The criteria from the CCSS are based on real-life experience, are in place to ensure that the level of education are a strong foundation. Primary education is important for all later courses in life in general, as it is the foundation for every other education that the student receives. Therefore, our goal for early childhood education is to create independent and engaged learners that are ready for the next steps in their academic life. Students should be able to inform themselves and not to depend on a teacher or tutor, as they are in place to prepare the students and to give them the tools they need to proceed. But students are the ones that need to understand the knowledge.
The classroom design in early childhood education plays a big role in learning and the amount of attention the students pays to their teachers. The ideal classroom for us would be a bright and colorful room to create an alert and welcoming environment to ease the students' ability to pay attention to.
In our classroom, we would have different educational posters around the room that grabs the students' attention. We would also group the students in ways that allow for collaboration. The children would have access to materials such as counting blocks or would complete crafts that have to do with that lesson. A goal of ours is to hang up work done by the students around the room so that the children feel that their thoughts are being represented, allowing for a push for students to continue sharing their intelligence. All of the ways that we choose to represent our classroom will continuously push for the children to continue to expand their minds.
The right curriculum is also part of an ideal education. For us, this would be the high school curriculum. It is geared towards learning in all developmental stages. As most children are intellectually and socially supported through this model, the content of the curriculum is following: approaches to learning, social and emotional development, physical development, health and language, literacy education, mathematics, creative arts, science and technology, and social studies. These developmental indicators are representative and available for teachers to choose from when identifying learning activities for children. The KDI is comparable to the standards that define what children should know, what they should do.
Our students should feel that they are represented in our classroom, so we have discussed a few ways we will accomplish this. During the first week of school, our class will do an activity to introduce themselves to other students by filling out a sheet with their favorite color, favorite food, or how many pets they have, etc. Once they have gone through this entire worksheet, we will come back together as a class and discuss class rules. This will be done by allowing students to volunteer their ideas, and us as teachers would help them to word it exactly how they want and put it up on a poster. Once this is completed, the poster should be placed on the wall and be reiterated for the next few days. This activity will allow for not only collaboration, but putting the classroom's ideas into writing. This helps the students and us as teachers to understand exactly how our classroom is going to run. The children should feel that their thoughts are being accounted for within the curriculum, schedule, and the environment.
Teaching strategies are what the teacher decides based on what is beneficial to the student and complements learning. We decided that visual learning is beneficial to the student for multiple reasons. It is beneficial because it is a medium that most children have access to and is most likely to understand the concept once they are visualized. With things such as pictures and printed words, students will also recall the pictures as a mnemonic device, which is easier than the concept itself. In addition to that is a hands-on experience, which is very important for us. So we'll use different educational activities as an ideal way to combine activities with the knowledge that the students need to understand.
Our job as teachers is to help and foster the students' ideas by creating ideal situations that allow for expression. The students will be able to elaborate on different topics we learn about in our classroom because we decided visual learning will be the most beneficial to them. By using visuals, the students will look at what we present to them and be allowed to ponder about their thoughts for a few brief moments before we introduce it. Another goal that we discussed is wait time, which will account for any gaps we have within the learning. Using this technique will allow most of the students to have ample time to create their own thoughts about what we have at hand. This will help make them understand their thinking processes and push them to dig deeper within their minds.
Assessments are going to be based on the observations we see that are significantly important, such as behavior changes and statements. According to Morrison's text, teachers need two mechanisms to collect data to see their key development. The first one is notes from the teacher, and the second one is portfolio. In addition to that, teachers use the COR advantages assessments instructions to identify and report students' progress and key behavior on contact areas.
According to the Developmentally Appropriate Practices text, assessment is reflected through four core purposes. 1. Planning and adapting curriculum to each children's developmental and learning needs. 2. Helping teachers and families to monitor children's progress. 3. Evaluating and improving program effectiveness. And 4. Screening and diagnosis of children with disabilities or special learning and developmental needs. So we as teachers will keep a close watch on all students by administering weekly tests on not only the information, but how the students are feeling about school, their classmates, and their home life. We will hold parent-teacher conferences when the school decides, but we'll also make sure to collect all of the parents' or guardians' information in the case that they would have to be informed of behavioral issues at school. We will also use assessments to dictate how our classroom will be run, making sure that all the different learning needs are met.
Guidance strategies will be presented by establishing predictable and known routines and setting clear rules for the students. Those routines and rules should be modeling kindness and respect. For this, we as teachers have to set a good example of what we expect from the children we educate. If done properly and coherent, this example to children allows them to follow the guidelines easier. We will also create classroom environments that promote independence and engagement. Materials will be organized so children can easily access them and use them. The children should have both noisy and quiet areas and plenty of soft spaces. We will observe children to understand the cause of behavioral challenges such as fatigue, confusion, or frustration. Lastly, we will help children solve problems and find solutions and also model positive communication, social interactions, and teach social skills directly when needed.
As I said before, the students in our classroom will collaborate on classroom rules. We must teach the students with different skills, including social skills such as cooperation and negotiations. These will help children to develop individually by giving them opportunities to create rules that lead to a classroom that lives in harmony. Teachers must enforce said rules by having persistent punishments or consequences when they are not followed. In our classroom, we will have a chart with every student's name on it, and there will be a green card, a yellow card, and a red card. If a student does not follow these rules, they will get a warning and must move to their yellow card. If they continue to misbehave, they will have to move to their red card and will receive some form of punishment, whether it be silent time or having privileges in the classroom revoked. If the students choose to behave well for the rest of the day or week, they will move back to their green card.
In conclusion, our goal is to create independent learners in an environment and with strategies that are engaging and based on real-life experience, in a setting that supports the children emotionally, as they should feel welcomed in our classroom, and mentally, as they should also learn a thing or two. For our curriculum, we decided on the high-scope curriculum, as it allows hands-on experience for the children. At the same time, the children should see themselves in the curriculum and have an impact on what we do, may it be the greater topics in which we teach the concepts or the rules of the classroom that they are in. The teaching strategies that we want to use in our ideal classroom are visual strategies and are based on situations in which the students can show their thinking skills and reflect on them in a hands-on approach. The assessments in our ideal classroom are based on what we see from the behavior of the kids in the classroom as well as from their physical work. Last but not least are the guidance strategies we want to utilize in the classroom. Those guidelines should be easy to understand by the students, lived by the teachers, and have a personal impact through the students in order for them to see themselves within those rules.
Thank you.
Vielen Dank.
for watching.